You hang up the phone after a long call. Your friend, having unburdened themselves, feels lighter, clearer, relieved. And you feel hollow. There is a quiet, cavernous emptiness where your own energy used to be. You came to the conversation with a genuine desire to support them, to offer a safe space for their troubles. And you did. But in the process, it feels as though a part of you has been borrowed and not returned. You are left alone with a strange and persistent exhaustion that has nothing to do with being tired. If this feeling is a familiar echo in your life, you have likely asked yourself a quiet, guilt-ridden question. Why do I feel so empty and drained after helping my friends, even when I genuinely want to support them? It is easy to interpret this feeling as a personal failing. You might tell yourself that you are not a good enough friend, that your empathy has a limit, or that you are secretly selfish for wanting the conversation to end. But what if this emptiness is not a sign of your failure to care for others? What if it is a sign that you have forgotten to care for yourself? This is not about being broken. It is about being caught in a silent, one-sided pattern, the empathy trap, where your role as the supportive friend slowly begins to erase your own presence in the relationship. Let's gently name this pattern. It is the subtle slide from compassion into emotional caretaking. Compassion is the act of feeling with someone. It is bearing witness to their pain from the firm ground of your own being. It is offering your presence without losing yourself. It is saying, I am here with you in your darkness. Not, I will enter your darkness and lose myself alongside you. Compassion leaves both people feeling more connected, more human. Emotional caretaking, on the other hand, is the act of taking responsibility for someone else's feelings. It is the belief, often unconscious, that it is your job to fix their sadness, to solve their problems, and to manage their emotional state. It comes from a place of anxiety, not grounded presence. The unspoken fear is that if you do not solve their problem, they will be overwhelmed, or worse, they will be disappointed in you. This pattern is often learned, a ghost of a past where your value was tied to your usefulness. Perhaps you learned that to be loved, you had to be the problem solver, the mediator, the calm one. You learned to fear being a burden, and so you dedicated yourself to carrying the burdens of others. Your exhaustion is not a sign that you are a bad friend. It is not a sign that you lack empathy. In fact, it is a sign that you have an immense capacity for it. Your exhaustion is a compass. It is a vital and loving signal from your body and your spirit, pointing directly toward your own unmet needs. It is the voice of the parts of you that have been silenced, the parts that also need to be heard, to be held, and to be seen. The emptiness you feel is not a void. It is a space filled with your own unexpressed stories, your own unattended sorrows, and your own quiet longings for support. It is a sacred message, asking you to turn your powerful gift of attention back toward yourself. It is a common myth that being a good friend means having limitless emotional availability. We are often taught that love and support should be unconditional and boundless. But you are a human being, not an infinite resource. Your energy, your time, and your emotional capacity are precious and finite. Believing that you must always be available to listen, to help, and to give is a recipe for burnout. It turns friendship from a source of mutual nourishment into a one-way transaction. True friendship is not built on one person being the endless well and the other being the one who only draws from it. It is built on a gentle and unspoken understanding that sometimes you will have the capacity to give, and sometimes you will need to receive. Imagine a conversation with a friend. In the old pattern, when they start to share a struggle, you might immediately go into fix-it mode. You listen intently, but you are not just listening. You are scanning for solutions, formulating advice, and feeling the weight of their problem as your own. You hang up feeling responsible and drained. Now, imagine a different way. Your friend begins to share. You listen with the same warmth, but instead of trying to solve their problem, you simply offer your presence. You say, "That sounds incredibly difficult." You ask, "What does that feel like for you?" You hold space for their feelings without absorbing them. You hang up feeling connected to your friend, but still connected to yourself. The problem is still theirs to solve, but they know they are not alone in it. This is the shift from caretaking to true compassion. So how do we begin to practice this shift? It does not require a dramatic confrontation or the abandonment of your friends. It begins with a small internal act of awareness. A gentle prompt to offer yourself before you dive into the next deep conversation is this simple question: do I have the emotional space for this right now? Take a moment to check in with your own inner landscape. Are you feeling grounded and resourced? Or are you feeling fragile, tired, or overwhelmed yourself? Being honest with yourself is not selfish. It is the foundation of an honest friendship. If the answer is no, you have a choice. It does not mean you have to reject your friend. It might mean saying, I want to be fully present for you, and I don't have the capacity for that right now.
Can we talk in an hour or tomorrow morning?
This is not a rejection. It is an act of profound respect for both your friend and yourself. It is a commitment to show up for them fully, not from a place of depletion. Another gentle practice is to begin noticing the moments when you long to be heard. After a conversation where you have done all the listening, take a quiet moment with a journal. You might explore the question, what is one thing I wish I could have shared today? Give yourself the space to articulate your own experiences, your own worries, your own small joys. The purpose is not to build a case against your friends. It is to give a voice to the parts of you that have been silenced. By simply acknowledging your own need to be seen, even just to yourself, you begin to honor your own experience as valid. You are practicing the art of listening to yourself with the same compassion you so freely give to others. The journey from emotional caretaker to compassionate friend is a quiet one. It is a process of unlearning the belief that your worth is tied to your usefulness. It is about discovering that your presence is enough. You do not need to solve everyone's problems to be a source of love and support in the world. True connection is not a transaction. It is a shared space, a dance of reciprocity where both people are free to be fully human, sometimes strong, sometimes struggling, but always worthy of being seen. What if your exhaustion is not a weakness, but a guide? What if it is inviting you to find a more sustainable, more honest, and ultimately more loving way to connect with the people you care about and with the quiet truth of your own heart?